prepare for basically a lot of backtrack rewards is basically the game plan. Anyways, so we're here on the beach where we can quickly get ourselves some rewards over here. Because we can climb up here and get some question mark blocks. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get anything spectacular, but as you can see, this is 100 coins right here. I think I got 100 there. It just gives you a bunch of items, basically, a bunch of coins. And those coins will allow us to essentially buy, you know, more equipment, more badges. It's nice to get those early, and then, like I said, all the extra stuff we can get from having the extra beans will be more stat ups, which I find also to be very important. Heading down here, because there was a single solitary bean we can get early on over here. So we can get our first bean in the beach, actually, as early as right now, which we're actually not going to be heading to the beach for quite some time. So, kind of funny that we can get a bean this early on into all of it. Anyway, now that that's taken care of, we can head northward back into Mushrise Park, and we're going to get a whole bunch of beans while we're in there as well. We will not be able to head back to Pillow Castle, so none of the beans over there, or Mappa Jamaja, so on and so forth. There's a couple in Wakeport we can get as well. So, we'll just keep going. One thing to note, by the way, there are going to be 0 beans. Oh, there's also a thing we can get over here, so shrink down, super candy, always good to have. It's basically just going to be like a stocking up on a full set of most of the items. Now, there are going to be no beans to the left where all the enemies are, so don't bother exploring there. There are 0 beans to get. All the beans we're looking for will be found just along the path here, and just nothing to the left. There's nothing to the left. Take my word for it. There is absolutely nothing to the left, or at least, you know, nothing that we can get. We can't get up here and get these beans, for example, because we just are not able to get up there yet. So those beans are there's not gonna be able to get all the beans. I think there's like 4 or 5 that we won't be able to get on our first journey through here. There are a bunch of beans over by Eldream, though, so we'll go grab those, and while we're here, we can actually visit Eldream and get the reward from Eldream as well, so we will be doing that. These guys actually say something new that now that we haven't talked to them for a while, so... wind powering generators, yeah, Boss Brickle actually built all of them. He's not just a crazy old dude, indeed, he is not. The Administrator Hut for Mushrise Park, yeah, they have a couple interesting things to say, because they're like Boss Brickle's lackeys who don't really like him that much. I think it's just kind of funny. Yeah, he gets a warm meal. Well, they're the ones who are like, oh, no, actually, they like him a lot, but they're like, Boss Brickle, give me a raise! Crazy guys. Anyways, remember over here, there are a total of 4 beans to get over here, so we will most certainly get every single one of these. There's beans for every single stat in the game. But I'll explain by the end of this one, actually. I'm going to use all the beans before this episode's over. We're going to just get all the beans and then use them all at once. And I'll explain my philosophy, how I'm going to do the stat-ups for this game. Because I have a plan. You'll see how it is. Anyway, rescue pillows is what we want. We've rescued enough to get our next reward, so 7 pillows is exactly what we need. And thank you for saying that twice. We get ourselves a birthday hammer. A very interesting item that I'm not going to really be able to show off that much because it's not my birthday for quite some time. I kind of timed this LP poorly because in terms of using the birthday hammer, but at the same time I wouldn't want to abuse it anyway because why? It's really powerful. Basically, it's really, really powerful on your birthday. That being said, currently, it's actually our strongest hammer, as you can see, by quite a bit. So, and it's 400 times stronger. Or it's 4 times, not 400 times, that's ridiculous. It's 4 times stronger on your birthday. Which means ultimately other hammers will still outclass it, but it's still a really good hammer. So we will, actually I'm not sure if other hammers outclass in the long run. It's debatable. Anyway, it's still a really good hammer though, so we're going to give it to Luigi so he'll have really good hammer power. I'm leaving the Iron Ball hammer on Mario because like I said, Iron Ball is handy in the Dream World because you'll get the Iron Ball effect on several enemies then. So... like I said, anything that has status effects or additional effects on enemies, I will definitely be using those on Mario because it just has a lot of impact in the Dream World. Plus, Luigi will just have a really powerful hammer attack now, which helps negate his more weaker power stats, essentially. So, another bean over here. Make sure you grab every single one of them. I'm going to try my best to make sure I show off every single one and don't pass a single one up here as we... go through. There's none in the pipe here, so don't worry about those. I'm just going to take my time, make sure I get every single one, and then we will be full of beans, and life will be good. There is, I believe, a bean over this way. Yeah, there's a bean at least in this part. Yeah, right here. So grab that bean. Like I said, I think there's like 4 or 5 that we can't get right now, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Basically, we're just gonna keep getting all the beans, and that'll be an episode. It's basically gonna be just an extra. So this is, like I said, I probably made a split long past this point at this point, and we're just gonna be wandering around getting beans. So if you do not care to join me for a bean episode, like I said, there will be combat at some point, so do not worry. I will fight something for you guys in this episode. But this was a continuation of last episode, because I'm not sure exactly where I want to cut things. I want to make sure I cut things in such a way where neither episode is too ridiculously long. Probably not the best planning, but I've already committed to it, so it's too late now. Anyway, there's some beans down here I want to make sure I grab. I think we're pretty good in these beans, so let's just head upwards. There'll be a couple more beans up there. We're actually gotten most of the beans in Mushrise Park, and Mushrise Park is the majority of the Backtrack beans, so once we've gotten that taken care of, we just have a few extra things we can go find, and actually a few enemies to fight, like I said, because I'm not sure if this is a glitch or not, but you'll see once we head towards Wakeport that something interesting has happened there. We'll save that for last, by the way, because it's interesting. We'll head up here quickly just to show that, like I said before, the Pillow Castle is still off limits because the bridge is still out. Nothing we can do about that. So, we'll get those beans over by the blimp port another day. It shall not be today. Anyway, if my voice is dying, it has been like over a half hour of straight recording now, so okay, not quite a half hour, but it's been a lot, so do keep that in mind. Now that we're tiny, we can head over this way, by the way, and explore this area a bit. There's an item we can get over here, which is actually another 100 coins, which is always good to have. Like I said, getting all the extra coins right now certainly helps just keep things on top, and we can also activate this bridge and explore across this area a little bit more before we head further. In fact, we'll get to explore we'll be able to introduce to an entire new area. I won't go to the map to show this, just to explain it. Basically, just take my word for it. We have now entered actually, I guess since we got a bean, I will show it. We have now officially entered Somnom Woods, which is yet another area in this game. So, Somnom Woods has 19 beans, actually, so it's actually quite a lot of beans. But we can get a few beans early on, so cool. Extra beans. Always fun. That being said, besides getting 10 more coins here, we cannot really progress much further, so this is off limits. We will be coming to Somnom Woods way later in the game, but not today. Anyway, let us keep going. We can't get the bean up here because it is out of reach, so no getting that one, but we will later on. I will do my best to 100% all the beans. I will definitely try. There's nothing we can do with this area over here. It's just it'll be used eventually, but not today. There is reason for that area's existence, but there's not much we can do. So all that's left to do right now is to head to Wakeport and do Wakeporty things. So let's do that. So actually, this backtracking didn't take as long as I thought it would. And in terms of the beans, and I will double check in between episodes to make sure I get all the beans, but 12? That seems a little low. I'm not sure how many beans I'm expected to have by this point. I feel like that's low. I feel like I've missed beans somewhere. If I miss beans, I'll tack it on to the end of the episode. Anyway, in the Wakeport area, though, there's new enemies. Enemies have spawned in this area suddenly in between going to the desert and now. So suddenly there's enemies, and they are tough enemies, but they're beatable enemies. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and break the game a bit, because these enemies are actually really easy to grind Excellent 10 and Dodge 10 on. So I'm gonna show you, because they spawned so early on, we can go ahead and get the Excellent 10 and Dodge 10 for Wakeport done now. That is actually the next area we're going to, so these enemies are not ludicrously strong. This is just the next area, which, I mean, we have an entire dream area and a lot to do before then, so we're expected to be at a slightly higher level than we are currently, but it's not that terrible. I mean, it's not like the end of the world, oh my god, we're so much, they're beatable, basically. So, we will certainly, I mean, and plus with the guard shell, we can negate sources of damage. In fact, I guess we're going to fight them right now because I just landed on an enemy. So, welcome to these guys. They are a new sort of enemy that we have to do. Their first attack, they will throw their shell at us, jump in between their shell and them. Their other attack, they will, oops, I screwed that up. In fact, if I screw up, I'm actually going to flee the battle because I want to make sure I get, the no-hitter. I don't want to fight them more than once because I do not want to, because they give a lot of experience. I don't want to throw the levels off too much, so we're going to just fight them one time. I'm going to actually try to get this correctly now. So allow me to focus while I try to explain this. I'm purposely going to try not to take damage from them, though. So if they're... I'm terrible at this. Okay, one more attempt. But this attack's easy to dodge. I just have to get used to the timing of the other attack. And like I said, there's no penalty for fleeing. Also, I'll explain why they move around in just a second. But let me go ahead and actually do this properly. Third time's the charm. I can't get that bean over there, by the way, so... You! I wish to fight you. Okay. Can we actually do this right now? I will have to cut if I keep screwing up, but... These enemies are really tricky to dodge, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. Okay. Do I get a chance to talk now? Okay, I get a chance to talk. So the way these enemies work, they have their shells. Their first attack, obviously, it's easy to dodge. Their second attack, if they stumble, they'll head to a bro, but the rock will actually fall on the other bro, so they'll prepare to attack that bro. If they don't stumble, it'll just go to the bro that they go to. So just time it so that when it's falling, you hit them, so on and so forth. Now, there's extra shells. There's more shells than there are enemies. And, basically, if you damage a shell, you won't actually be hurting them. And it does take an attack to get rid of a shell. So either you jump at them after you counterattack their shell throw, like right now, that one crab is exposed. They're called hermite crabs. And I guess the question mark over here. But, otherwise, you have to use jumps, because basically, if you don't use jumps, you know, you won't get the... yeah, you have to use jumps. But if you do if you hammer the one that they're not attacking, you don't do any damage to them, which means you can essentially farm infinite excellence by just hitting the shells and not actually damaging them. So in one fight, you can get excellent 10 and dodge 10, and hopefully a no-hitter as long as I don't screw up. And they actually replenish their shells. So while you're not paying attention, by the way, they can move around, as you can see. So while you're in the menu selection, they can move. So you always have to keep an eye on them to make sure you know which ones have the crabs. But that's when you're trying to actually fight them seriously. Now, if they don't have a shell, they won't actually attempt to attack you. So only the ones that have shells will actually be able to do attacks. The other ones will just replenish their shells. So the dodge 10 and excellent 10 going will be very slow for this fight, because it's just a whole lot of hitting empty shells with hammers. And luckily, we could use hammers a lot, which means getting the excellent 10 is really easy, because the hammers timing is way easier than the jumps timing. Also, this is actually being a nice opportunity for us to farm our first barrier right now, which is nice. So we're actually going to get one barrier, and then we'll actually be farming the Virus Master, which is why I bought the Virus thing right now, because while we're doing all this, we actually are charging our badges pretty much for free, which is really nice. So as long as we don't screw up any of the timing of the dodges, we can get the no-hitter, the excellent 10, and the dodge 10 this early on, which is pretty nice. You just have to get used to the timing of that one hammer attack. That's really all I have to do, and then you're pretty much good to go, so... Pretty cool, I think. And with that, we have our first, thing there. So, I could go for a second one, but really, I only feel like I need one. So, as long as I'm not sure exactly which one it replaces if I leave it on like this, so I'm going to purposely use the HP thing here, so that it will always, so that the slot's gonna be open now for the Virus Master Badge. So we'll have both eventually, which will be kind of cool. And I'll show these off eventually, obviously, once things happen. Anyway, farming excellence still. Fun. Excellent 10. There we go. We got the next excellent. We got the excellent 10. Got it. We got the excellent 10 for that already, which is really nice. So with that, I just have to keep dodging the enemies, and eventually I'll get the dodge 10 and the no-hitter 10. So I'm just going to keep fighting until that happens. So I'll cut out the rest of this. But as you can see, farming the hermit crabs for early access points, or expo challenge points, is actually not that hard. So as long as I keep... Oh, this is the one attack that always gets me! Gotcha! I gotcha! So yeah, I actually... Well, it doesn't matter. I got the excellent 10 already, so ha! Doesn't even matter. What's my status on dodge? Yep, only have to dodge 3 more attacks and then kill the enemies. That's all that's required. In fact, I'm purposely going to not do damage to these guys because I don't want them to die. Because if one dies, getting the other one's pretty hard. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and speed up this footage so that I don't have to, I'm going to speed up this footage so that I can focus on not screwing this up. Because I want to make sure I dodge these next 2 attacks so I can get the dodge 10 and then kill them. Actually, I should start killing them because I want to get the no-hitter at this point, so... Might even use a bro attack to finish them off. I don't know, we'll see. I think it's only 1 more attack, so actually at this point I'm not gonna... I guess I'm not speeding up or cutting this out because, well, that enemy's dead. So I'm at 1 more, right? Right? It's actually all the way down here. I saw you move! I saw you move again! You can't... Stop it! Okay, I want to make sure I don't hit the one because I want him to get 1 more attack off. And then once it's done, okay, it's going for Mario. So there we go. There we go, dodge 10 cleared. And then actually it's easy from here because as long as he doesn't have a shell, he's not going to attack us. So we can just keep him from ever getting a shell and he'll never attack us again. That being said, I don't think it's going to be relevant because I think he's dead. In fact, look at the raw power of the birthday hammer! He's dead. So there we go, guys. Dodge 10, excellent 10, no-hitter 10, or no-hitter 16. All done right now. 110 experience was actually quite a lot, so I didn't want to fight those guys more than once because I didn't want to over-grind there. But still, and because I'm putting all of the points here in speed for Mario, I'm actually going to be focusing on stash for Luigi. Very much like I did in previous games. Mario speed, Luigi stash. So I'm going to focus on getting this 5 here. Got it. There we go. I got both 5s. Definitely wanted to make sure I landed those. And now we have a bit of extra speed from Mario. It's with the help of beans, we'll be able to get his speed higher than the enemies, even on hard mode. And as you can see, we can't really do much else over here, which means assuming I want to make sure I just don't fight any more of these guys. They're pretty fast. The further you get into the game, the harder it is to actually avoid enemies because they will kind of bum rush you. So I did get the things back here, right? Yep, I did. So yeah, that's really all the backtracking, as long as I didn't miss any beans anywhere, which I will double check in between episodes, but I do believe that is all of the backtracking that all the extra stuff I need to do. So yeah. Assuming I have all the beans at this point, well, let me just I'm just gonna run around, double check it, because all the beans are basically in this area. It's really hard to miss the beans in Mushrise Park. I just felt like there was more, but I guess you get the other ones way later on, because there's a lot of areas in Mushrise Park we can't really get to. So I'm assuming we do indeed have all the beans. It just feels like I didn't get a lot of them. Feels a little... Oh wait, there are beans, I believe, on over here as well. Over to this left. Yeah, there is a bean over there. Okay, I was missing one. I knew it. Actually, I am going to double check before I get all the beans. So I'm going to make a quick cut to the video, and I'm going to double check that I have every bean. Because I think 14 is the right number, which I think should be what I have. 13, I think 13, I don't know. I'm going to double check. I'll be back in just a second. Aha! I knew I was missing one. This one's over by the fountain over here, by the flowers. I was missing one along this area. And this is the only one I'm missing. I'm looking up a guide here. Although, the reason I'm not as proficient in finding the beans as I was back in Bowser's Inside Story is because the guides for Dream Team are not really as concise or detailed as the ones for Bowser's Inside Story, so I don't really have... it's a lot of me finding them on my own and having to remember all of them, which is a little crazy. So, yeah, there's that, basically. I have a thing in my mouth. There we go. So, a little weird there, but anyway. So, I'm going to get a Pilate just to heal up Luigi, because I knew he took some damage. And I will actually be able to afford the extra gear. And then we'll go ahead and put all the beans on our characters, because that is all of them. We're at 14. I will double check when we get there. But basically 8 beans in Mushrise Park are inaccessible at the moment. So, I'm going to buy one set of singular wear. That's it for Mario. And I will sell his old So-So-Ware because he has no need for it anymore. And with that, we're at a decent amount of money, and we can go from... I guess I could technically go buy the strike badges as well right now. I could. There's really no harm in not doing so, so I guess I'll quickly run over there. We'll buy, and then I'll be pretty close to where we are going to be starting the next episode anyway, so I won't have to, like, warp places. But yeah, the bean I missed was southwest of the fountain, if you've been following along, and you know where it is. You guys can find it. I have faith in you guys. So yeah, it's only 200 coins. What the hell? We'll have the strike badge, because we're gonna want to buy all the badges eventually. May as well get over with now. And the Dozing Sands has a good way to get a ton of money, so we'll be pretty okay with funds soon enough. And then if we head just down here, we're back where we started our backtracking. So backtracking complete. I will quickly show you guys my method for how I'm going to be handling the beans in this playthrough. And we'll end us on this sparkly rock right here. This seems like a good spot. So here we go. Gonna use these items and head down. We could use the beans tab. And actually, just to show it off, this is what we should have. One in Wakeport, one in down there, one over there, and 14. 14 is the number, and 5 are the only ones we can get in Dozing Sands currently. I think. I can double check that, actually. Hang on, let me look right now. Guide. Yeah, okay, yep, it's only 5 for now. So, yep, we have all of the beans. 14 is the number from Mushroom Park. Like I said, there's 8 that we can't access right now. Anyway, let me go ahead and go into items, and I'll show you how we're going to be doing the beans in this playthrough. So my philosophy will be health will be split evenly. I'm always going to put a little bit more focus to Mario, though, just because of Dream Battles. But whenever it can be split evenly, power will be split evenly, because I want Luigi to be good enough. I don't want Luigi to fall behind when it comes to battles later on, you know. I don't want him to be super weak compared to Mario. Defense will be split evenly. Bro Beans, I'm always going to use right before a boss, so I can even out BP numbers, so that both bros will have good BP numbers for the fight. You know, there won't be any sort of excess. I'm going to basically use BP efficiently, and I'll use the bro points to ensure that right before a thing. And then Speed Beans will always go only to Mario, because I want him to have good speed. And Stash Points will go entirely to Luigi, because I want him to have the highest chance to have, you know, extra lucky hits. Luigi will be my lucky master, Mario will be the one who goes first. And that'll help ensure that. That's my policy for Beans. Like I said, I'll use the Bro Beans right before we get to a boss, so that I can use them efficiently. Unless I get to 10, don't forget you can only hold up to 10 things, 10 of each item in hard mode. Beans do count. If for some reason you try to go over that number, you just won't be able to dig it out of the ground. It'll give you a message saying you can't do this, which maybe I'll show off someday. We'll see if that ever happens. Anyway, that's enough for now, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this extra backtracking for stuff episode, but we'll get back to the main plot next time for sure. So this is LuckySevenDX signing out. I'll see you guys in the next episode for more Mario and Luigi Dream Team, actually exploring the real, like, this is where Dozing Sand really begins. We're getting to the thick of it next time, guys. So I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.